Good evening. I would like to begin my presentation with a brief overview of Iran's nuclear capabilities, their intentions to pursue a nuclear weapons program, their pursuit of ballistic delivery systems and capabilities, their government's intention to use and pursue nuclear weapons capabilities, and finally the tasking of the intelligence community across the 5 intelligence disciplines. To begin with their capabilities, Iran currently has nuclear energy capabilities. A lot of nuclear technology is dual use, so that means the nuclear civilian technology that they currently use can be diverted to military programs with relative ease, and it's difficult to tell if a program has been militarized or not. Iran currently has ballistic missile capability per Professor Kavanaugh's newly released CIA National Intelligence Estimate. And they also have the ability to divert highly enriched uranium, or HEU, as well as the creation of plutonium enrichment. They have the ability to do reprocessing, but have stated that they will not. Both of these are the ways that you would build a nuclear weapon. So they have both of those capabilities in hand and currently within Iran. Additionally, they have pursued nuclear capabilities in the past, and a lot of, as I mentioned, their programs are dual use, so it's hard to tell. They might have been pursuing nuclear weapons capabilities previously, but we were not able to determine that in the past because of the complexity between civilian and military programs. So moving on to the military and government's intentions to pursue nuclear weapons. In a public platform, the Ayatollah Khomeini and the president of Iran have both stated publicly that they do not want to pursue nuclear weapons because it's in direct contrast with Islamic faith. The Ayatollah issued a fatwa saying as such, and the president has backed up these claims as well. Despite these statements, Iran has a nuclear weapons organization dedicated to nuclear weapons development. It's called the Organization of Defensive Innovation and Research, and as I said, it's dedicated to creating nuclear weapons. So the leaders are saying that they don't want to pursue nuclear weapons while they have a program dedicated specifically to nuclear weapons pursuit. These two things don't match up and they're directly contradictory, as well as the pursuit of covert nuclear weapons and nuclear testing facilities. So it's likely that the leaders and the military, if given the chance and are successful, they will create a nuclear weapon. They've created facilities, they've done testing, they have the capability and materials to create a nuclear weapon, as well as the delivery systems in the form of ballistic missiles. Now we'll move on to the tasking of the intelligence community. Based on the above stated information, we'll be tasking the 5 intelligence disciplines, which are measurement and signature intelligence, signals intelligence, geospatial intelligence, open source intelligence, and human intelligence. We will be addressing MASINT first, measurement and signature intelligence. The DIA is the primary organization that manages MASINT capabilities and taskings, and they should use their nuclear radiation measurement methods to monitor Dasht-e-Lut and Dat-e-Kavir, which are the 2 locations that were specified in the CIA NIE as locations that were going to be used for nuclear weapons testing. So through MASINT, it could be possible to determine if nuclear weapons testing was being conducted in these particular sites if nuclear radiation is discovered. Additionally, they could also monitor the city of Sharud to determine if ballistic missile testing is being conducted. If they can pick up these signatures, that could prove that reporting of both of these different things is accurate, so that nuclear weapons testing is happening and also ballistic missiles testing is happening as well, which would further verify the information that we had previously been given. So if evidence is found to support these claims, it would confirm reports that Iran is pursuing a militarized nuclear weapons program, and it would show that their nuclear technology was not being explored for purely civilian purposes, but instead was really ultimately for nuclear weapons capabilities. Next, we'll move on to SIGINT, and the agency best fit to handle these capabilities and technology is the National Security Agency, or the NSA. And according to NPR, the NSA Their main objective is to collect communication. However, in recent years, specifically in 2013, we learned that the NSA has a capability to read our emails and to monitor our phone calls. So using that technology, we could target the Iranian nuclear scientists that are planning to attend the international conference on the safe use of nuclear energy through SIGINT capabilities. And we could get access to their emails and their phone numbers through human collection if we're able to get there through networking, get their information, and then we can target them through SIGINT. Additionally, we could target the National Council of Resistance of Iran to determine if the information that they've provided to the CIA and NIE is legitimate. We could also use SIGINT to conduct vetting to determine where their information came from, how they got it, who they talked to get it, and it would just make them more reliable if we can confirm the information that they provided to us. Finally, we could target the Brigadier General of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Dr. Hassan Mohseni, to gather further background since he runs the Iranian nuclear program. By monitoring all of their phone calls, we could fill intelligence gaps, as I mentioned, by gathering greater context about what they're planning, what their intentions are, and what capabilities they have as far as nuclear weapons and nuclear energy capabilities are concerned. If Iranian officials are caught in a lie by revealing that they are pursuing nuclear weapons programs contradictory to what the leaders are, it would make the Iranian government look bad, could potentially destabilize them, and lead to a whole host of other side effects and destabilize the country in general if that's found out. Next, we'll move on to geospatial intelligence. And according to the Office of Geospatial Intelligence Management, geospatial intelligence is the exploitation and analysis of imagery and geospatial physical features and geographically referenced activities on Earth. So with that in mind, the National Geospatial Agency could use that method and mission statement to observe and locate changes in geography in Iran. Specifically, they could find if new facilities are being built, like the two locations that I previously mentioned for nuclear weapons testing, in Dasht-e-Lut and Dat-e-Kavir. So through these GeoInt monitoring, we could monitor these locations to determine if they're being built there, and if not, we could see if ballistic missiles are being moved throughout the nation or into the country, if they're importing them. And that would additionally corroborate information that we knew in the CIA and NIE through other intelligence sources. Next, we'll move on to OSINT, or Open Source Collection, Open Source Intelligence. The best agency to conduct this research is the CIA and ODNI's Joint Open Source Center, or OSC. And with their combined resources, we would be able to find invaluable information on the open web. So like web forums, websites, different public access like radio, television, etc. Anything that's publicly available, we can get access to through open source intelligence collection. And it would seek to fill gaps by monitoring information that's come out from the government of Iran to understand what their rhetoric is, to understand public opinion in Iran, as well as monitoring the press conferences as was previously released by the National Council of Resistance in Iran. And additionally, through open source, I was able to find that Iranian nuclear scientists had actually been killed. And it was who killed them is not clear yet, but the fact that they've been targeted so recently indicates that being an Iranian nuclear scientist isn't necessarily the safest job out there, and it would help guide our human collection. And that leads me into human collections operations. So we would ideally want to target Iranian nuclear scientists, but keeping in mind that they're particularly sensitive right now, we would need to be especially careful when talking with these sources. If we do talk to them at all, we could target them at the conference, as was previously mentioned, which would be probably one of the safest ways to do it. And we could infiltrate it and then get their contact information, like I said, their email address, their phone number, so we could do SIGINT, and that would just allow us to incorporate other intelligence disciplines into this method. So that convention would allow our collector to get information about the Iranian nuclear program in a academic environment, in an environment that makes sense to ask those types of questions without triggering or setting something off in their mind that's something that they're trying to get information from them. So it's important to know that human collection should be the last resort because, as I said, it's very dangerous to the collector, to the source, and to the agency running it. So in conclusion, Iran has the capability to build a nuclear weapon. They have energy technologies and the resources. They have a ballistic missile that they can use to launch a nuclear weapon once they make it. According to the CIA and IE, they're already pursuing a nuclear weapons program, and their failure to be forthcoming about their capabilities and facilities in the past should lead us to not trust any of their current peaceful and civilian use nuclear programs and all their rhetoric that says that they want to use civil nuclear programs, because it's in direct contradiction of what they are currently doing and pursuing as far as nuclear weapons are concerned. Because of this information stems from single source reporting, we need to use intelligence disciplines to verify its veracity, its validity, its trustworthiness. So all of the ints together can help provide a holistic picture of information and fill intelligence gaps as we go along. So thus, all of the 5 intelligence gaps must work together to answer the above discussed intelligence gaps before any final decisions and policy actions can be taken. Thank you so much. This concludes my briefing. Have a great night.